EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Well, the waiting is over. We are about to get started here today. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We'll be calling the action for you. Frank, the golfers look ready to go. And as someone who's been in this situation yourself, what sorts of things are you thinking about before starting the round?
Rhythm, I think, is a big key at TPC Sawgrass, Rich. You've got to keep your rhythm. You don't actually hit a lot of drivers out here, so position is really the first thought that you'll have. Get that ball in the right position. It is very much a second-shot golf course.
Gentle opening hole, but still not a gimme three.
No, it isn't, because it's going to test that second shot. A good drive here, you really should be looking at making three. But a poor second shot, especially if you miss the screen on the left, then it's a very tough up and down. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Headed for the bunker. So the second of the par four goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Should be safely on dirt. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot, that takes the trees on the left out of play, and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5-iron.
Look out left.
And there's rough over there.
That's a bit offline in the rough.
Oh, I liked that.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
One player told me, Frank, that it's like a root canal appointment. You're thinking about 17 all day long.
I think a root canal at times would be more enjoyable than playing 17 on a windy day.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Third shot coming up at this par 5. Still a good chance to make birdie.
Yeah, just make sure you have the right number and the right club.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. And getting ready for the putt. So 2 under early on. Shouldn't be a problem here. Still even par for the day. So we started with a par 4, then a par 5, and now the 177-yard par 3 third hole. Plenty of hazards here, Frank.
Yeah, you really break this green up into 3 portions. Front left, front right, and that back, just on top of the ridge.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Birdie try up next.
Well, that's the best that was going to be on the fringe.
Not too bad. Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron. Others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's 2 schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club. But really, the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Could it be? Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Frank, this birdie putt is from downtown.
Well, if you want to build a skyscraper, you've got to knock a few of these in.
So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of 2 evils is to be in the bunker on the right. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. That's an absolute beauty.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Has it?
Maybe wet. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, But you wonder what he's thinking on that.
He'll need to be strong with this. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Still playing even for the day after the par. Just a couple of feet. Now at -2 for the day. Fifth hole, good par 4, isn't it, Frank?
If ever a hole was built for Lee Trevino, who used to love to cut it, this would be the hole. It just looks and screams for a shot that's hit left to right. And that's the only way really to avoid bunkers left and long, and that one that's all the way down the right side.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. We are about 170 yards from the hole. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, he's on the green, but still plenty of work left. About a 25-footer coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. And he's putting for par now. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more. Second shot.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank, how do you size up the approach shot now at the 6th?
Ideally, you'd want to have a good yardage in here. Something where you can hit a nice, high, lofted short iron to make sure that you don't mess with those palm trees.
And now a putt from 24 feet away. Yeah, go ahead and fill it up.
It's at sneaky distance.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side. Just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that, it's actually a pretty good line.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. Getting set for another approach, our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now, this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really, you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, do that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. You have to like that. 4 under. Frank's 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is, longest of the 4 par 3s. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Headed for the bunker? Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
This one has a good line. Oh, hello there.
Huge bonus making that one.
Well, too bad. He gives one back. Frank, now at the ninth, this really is one of my favorite par fives in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par five regularly in two. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Okay, the second shot now at this par five. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. He'll need to be strong with this. These putts keep the round together. Solid par to remain 1 under. Locked in on the read and the speed. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. Seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot. Should be safely on deck.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Frank, he might like this one. He might like, oh, he's got, in the words of the legendary basketball announcer Marv Albert, from way downtown, yes. Step this one off at 30 feet. Good putt and a good move now to 4 under. Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for 2 that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years. Second shot. Off the flight path again.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? This requires a lot of speed through the ball. And getting ready for the putt. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old links, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. I'm thinking about 90 yards from here. Not easy to control from that kind of a lie, is it, Frank?
No, obviously you could see in the back of his mind, don't go left. So it just depends how far right this is going to finish.
80 yards to the flagstick, Frank. Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Do that, Frank. What a putt.
I don't go that far on a holiday.
It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Frank, so much focus on the back 9 here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the...
Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalised a stroke for hitting out of bounds, and I'm hitting my third shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot.
Could have been a lot worse. It didn't finish up too bad.
No, just on the fringe, so he'll still have an opportunity to knock this one in. There's 5 feet left. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You're running a little hot right now. Cool down just a little bit. Frank, the 14th hole. A lot has happened here over the years.
I think it's the litmus test on the back 9. That's where things really start to heat up. It looks like a straightforward tee shot, but often the eyes wander to that water down the left side. And of course, if you think about that, you invariably fire the ball towards the right, where those hillocks and thick rough is, and virtually no chance of reaching the par 4 and 2.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
This is the second shot at the par 4. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
Rory Mcilroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
It's no snack, though.
Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. This would give him the par. Well, nothing wrong with that par putt. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's two little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Nice par to remain at 2 under. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Playing his 4th shot after the 3rd was wet. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
From 135 yards out.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. So 3rd shot now for Rory Mcilroy. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good parts.
Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. Clean this up with a tap. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Through the years, Frank, there have been 6 aces here at 17.
But it's hard to imagine that the last one was back in 2002 by none other than the most interesting man in the game and probably the most interesting par 3 in the game.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Moving a little left of the flagstick, Frank. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Well, this one's tracking. Oh, yeah, he's going to love that one, Frank. Sensational effort.
Oh, just eat that up.
Just 5 feet left. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Ooh, looks like Rory Mcilroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Now his final approach shot of the day, just wants to go out in style.
One more good swing.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. I've seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
So we have 190 yards left. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut.
It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And getting ready for the putt. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Yeah, that really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
So a tester from 4 feet. Finished the round with a 67. Holding steady now at 2 under par. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the